A very detailed new post from Paralives shows us a shop in the first Paralives town, but just how much gameplay is this going to actually add versus being aesthetically pleasing? In addition, a preview of additional Paramaker items shows their critical focus for adding clothing to the game without delaying development. So all this does come from their Patreon post, newly public. It is really interesting because it gives us insights into how they developed this game, and really that everything that is added into Paralives is added with a lot of care and attention. First of all, we're going to look at this preview of a clothing shop in the new town. Now, this clothing shop was heavily inspired by shops in Paris, which I think I can definitely see the influence. It is going to be located in the Old Town district of the city, which we did cover the different districts in a previous video, and they're also going to, of course, stay coherent with the rest of the plaza. In other words, they are definitely thinking about everything they add. They want to make sure it aligns with the rest of the world. Now, this building is placed on a hill, and the shop is on 2 levels with 2 different entrances. One is on the plaza and one is on the street. In addition, the first few floors have a floor-to-ceiling window that displays to allow you to see some of the clothing that is sold there. It's really great to think about the street view and overall the functionality potentially of this shop. Now, it could just be a rabbit hole. While I do know they have ambition to eventually not make so many things rabbit holes, the fact of the matter is this is just something we need to keep in mind. That said, if it does remain a rabbit hole, I hope we can at least click on the building, interact with it, and maybe hit buy clothing. I really love seeing the inspiration behind everything they do, concept art, but also references too. What they're trying to do, of course, is to add whimsy to the game. I think it is going to have that, but even though there is whimsy, they are still drawing from real-world inspiration, which makes sense to me. I am a little bit biased. I did study French for several years. I am rusty, don't ask me. I have always loved Parisian architecture. It definitely has a very classic feel, and I'm so excited to see how this blends with the rest of the world. In addition, it also goes to show just how much work goes into even creating a single asset. As you can see here, it has been refined throughout the process, and when you brainstorm, you're often editing those sketches and thinking about not just what looks good, but what actually works in the game. And right here we can see a street level view. I'm not exactly sure why there's a blurred aspect here. I'm not sure the purpose of that. But beyond that, I love seeing the mannequins outside of the clothing store. And again, I could see where you could browse the clothing even if you can't go into the shop. I would love it if you could also do window shopping. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm a huge advocate of making this into an active lot whenever they are able to. This is just another angle. I love seeing the different perspectives. You also see a balcony. I really do hope we're eventually able to use balconies, not just aesthetically, but that parafolk can actually walk out on them. As we can see here, this is where you could have a grill out or a barbecue. I will also note there is a telescope and there's hanging plants, just some really great items for building. But again, even though it looks aesthetically pleasing, I cannot say for sure what is going to be functional and what is not. There is so much potential to build upon this, no pun intended, so hopefully even if not everything is interactive at first, there is potential for them to do so later in the future. All in all, I am very fond of this aesthetic. It might not be for everyone, but I think it looks elegant and timeless, and as you'll recall, this first town is going to have different districts, and with those different districts there is going to be a slightly different feel to each one. So let me know in the comments below, what do you think is going to be interactive and what do you want to be interactive? Again, I'm not saying they have to have everything included right away. At the same time, keep in mind that Paralives is an open world environment, and with that, I would argue having more rabbit holes, at least in my opinion, is okay. I don't think that everything has to be active. Something like shopping in person would add so much personality and character to the game. So we'll just have to see how that all goes, if it's added later in early access, upon launch, and these are questions I still have. Now, we're gonna actually move on though, because they have also showcased some new Paramaker items. It's so easy to get overwhelmed and keep adding and adding beyond what you need to, at least at first. And with Paralives, you can customize the clothing quite a bit. With the customization options, I think staples are a good place to start, and these clothing items are a perfect example of that. We have this black tank top and also camo pants. Now, I'm not a big camo person, but again, you can customize this, and I think this just looks nicely made. I really like the side pocket details. details, and I also think it just fits the para well. Something else I really like about these showcases is they're always showing us different paras, and in fact, we also see how they recycle their general meshes and ideas. These khaki pants, for example, do share a lot of characteristics of the camo pants we just looked at. Of course, some details are different, but the basic idea is still there, especially with the pocket design. We also see a pretty basic layered shirt. Now, I'm not sure if this is just one shirt or if it's been layered over. Remember, you are going to be able to layer a lot of clothing in this game too. Not every piece, but that is a plus. And next up, we also have this pair of jeans, or some people call them jorts. What's really great is there's a lot of neutral / masculine fashion in Paralives. It seems like it's going to have a really good foundation for just basic staples in everyday life, and this is something that is important. There's also this jean skirt with some nice pocket details. Once again, if you can't tell, I'm a big fan of pockets. And there is this just nice little cozy cardigan, basic sandals, as well as more jean shorts. What I notice here is they're doing lots of variations on the same theme. As we can see, these are rolled up and it just gives them a slightly different characteristic. Again, it's not that these pieces are super exciting, but I do find these clothing pieces are well done, fit the pair as well, and also bring a lot of variety. And just to add a little bit more personality here, we have a halter top with a floral design, and also another look at those rolled jean shorts. What's really great is they are showing how these are going to look on different parafolk from different personalities to body types, and I think that just really shows you how you could use them in game. And finally, last but not least, there's some more frayed looking details on these shorts. What I do notice about this para is the legs look a little bit strange. The legs do look to be a different color than the rest of the para's body. I'm looking and it doesn't really look like there's tights or anything like that on. There is some leg hair, but I'm just not sure about why the tone is so different. If you understand that, let me know, because that just looks a little bit off. That aside, I like most of these clothing items. Nothing I'm super excited about, but I actually do appreciate that. We have seen in the past there are some more interesting stable pieces. I do expect we will see some more unique pieces in the future. That aside, I want to know your thoughts in the comments below. If you're still here, what do you think about the clothing items and their general approach? Do you have any constructive feedback? And overall, how are you feeling about Paralives? Do you think there's going to be a lot of functionality, or is there going to be a ton of set dressing? As always, thanks so much for watching, take care, and I'll see you in the next video.